Hi everyone. So before I start, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the strategies that I'm going to use here. The first one is for writing, and that is geared towards kindergarten. The kindergarten teacher that I work with right now actually uses this for interventions for some of her students with learning disabilities. And then also the next one is in math, and that is for kindergarten, first grade. It kind of just depends where the student is at and what they're struggling with. The next one is for reading, and that is like sounding out words. It's geared for kindergarten, could be used in first grade if that needed. Alright, so I will start with the writing one. This is a very nice resource for learning to write or students who are struggling. So on the board here that each student would get, the alphabet is above here, so they have those letters there for them to help. They also have the word that they're going to practice writing on the cards. These cards have a word for every letter in the alphabet. Some examples here. So the student will get their word. Let's do unicorn because I know some struggle with this. And they'll get it on here so it stands straight up. You can put this here, but it's really hard to write when it's standing up, so I usually have them just put it on the table where it's flat. So I'll turn this towards me, and I'm going to copy it 3 times on here because repetition is really key. When students do things over and over, it usually sticks in your mind. And a big thing in kindergarten, or any grade really, but they learn it in kindergarten, is writing like the lowercase and uppercase in the right part of the line here. So lowercase need to be underneath for unicorn, and it shows it has the lines on their word card too, which is really nice, so they can really just copy it straight on here. There's more room too, so if they're really struggling, you can have them write it up to like 6 times here. They can always erase it and write it again if they're having a hard time. Let's pick one more word to do. Let's do wagon because it has this G here that has to go below. Other letters like P and Q go below too, but some students really struggle with that. They'll write the G on the circle part on the top and then bring it down here where the loop has to go underneath. So then you just have them erase. Turn the card towards them so they can see it as they're writing. And they'll just copy it. You can have them trace it as many times as you need. It really depends on the student for that as well. So this is called the Learn to Print Center. It's really nice for interventions and like early on reading, learning to write. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one. So the next intervention or teaching strategy that I'm going to show you is for reading. And what we have here, this is for kindergarten or even first grade if they're struggling. I know that the first grade teacher I've worked with this year has used it for some of her students because some students just really struggle with certain letters, sounding them out. They just have a hard time. And here's a strategy that she showed me. Having the lines under each sound so they know how many sounds are going to be in the word. So for example, here's can. So we say k and n, can. So the student can slide their finger across if that works for them, or they can just visually see that there's 3 sounds in this word. So they know that ahead of time, and that can really help. And here's a better example for she. There's 3 letters, but only 2 sounds. So they see there's only 2 lines underneath, so they know that. They know it's not going to be s, h, e. They know that. They know that this is going to make the sh, e, because there's only 2 sounds, and there's only 2 lines under. Here's another one. He, h, e, he, bug, b, g, bug. So this is really helpful, and she said it's worked really well for her students, just so they can see how many sounds are underneath, even if there's more letters, there's only 2 sounds, like for she. So another little spin off of that are these, having the dotted lines and the little loops, so they're connecting the sounds as they go. So this one, k, and, so they have that. This one's already drawn on, but here's by. And so they can take like a marker or highlighters are fun, like anything new they get very interested in. So they take it, draw the dots, I, by. And they're connecting the dots and connecting the sounds as they're going. So that works really well for some students because they're physically connecting them as well as connecting the sounds. Let's see. Do one more here. Had. D. Had. And then one more spin off this one. So for like people who have sensory issues or something like that, they can do a lot better when there's texture. So I made up some of these cards, and all it is these lines connecting them, and you could do this with just plain lines underneath as well. So like for I just used a hot glue gun and made it so there's texture. So I just put little dots so the student can take their finger and feel through it. So and then they're feeling like the connection between the words. That can work really well for students as well. So you have another one for can. Can. So you just like, you're feeling that texture as you go along, and that can help as well. So you can, just like I modified this, you can modify it towards the student's needs. So whatever you think is going to work best for them, if it works best for them to physically draw it, if it works best for them to feel that texture, or if it works best for them to physically see the lines for the sounds here, whatever you think is going to work best as their teacher. So next we're going to move on to the math strategy here. And this one's really fun. Students tend to really understand after using this one. So you're going to have a sheet like this, and it's called subtraction blocks. Right here, there's always going to be the 6 because you use a dice, and there's only 6 on a dice. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll the dice, and I got 3. So I have a stack of 6 blocks here. I'm going to take this and write 3 here. So 6, I have to take away 1, 2, 3. How many do I have left? 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to write it in the equal part. And then after you make the problem there, have the student read it out loud so they can, comprehend what you did. So 6 minus 3 equals 3. Or 6 take away 3, like we took away 3 blocks. Sometimes that helps students. So 6 take away 3, then you have 3 left. Let's roll again. Get our blocks back together. 2. Before I take them away, I'm going to write it on the paper here. 6, take away 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 left. So 6 minus 2 equals 4, or 6 take away 2 equals 4. Put them back together and we'll roll again. 1. 6 take away 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. 6 minus 1 equals 5. One more time. Oh, we just got 1, so we'll roll again so we can get a different one. 6 minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 2. So we'll say 6 minus 4 equals 2, or 6 take away 4 equals 2. So why this really works for some students is, a lot of students work better when they have physical objects in front of them. So it doesn't have to be blocks, but blocks are really nice because they connect and you can take them away one by one. And it just helps students because it gives them meaning to subtraction. So subtraction is kind of hard, when you're just learning it. If you give a student a problem and just say, here, 6 minus 3, what is the answer? That can be tough. So showing them physical options or objects and taking them away as you do it, it really gives them the meaning and the understanding that they need to learn the math. So this can be done in kindergarten, they've used it, first grade. It really just depends on the student again.